Good morning. How's everybody doing today? It is Tuesday, March 31st, and I just wanted to say thank you to parents that were able to connect yesterday and log in on Dojo. And it was humbling to see that parents were watching the video that I posted. I'm really not the kind of person that normally likes to be in front of a camera or stare at a screen all day, so this is an adjustment for me, but again, as I've stated many times, my goal is to help parents in any way that I possibly can. And so if this helps, I'm going to continue to do it. Um, I wanted to share a couple personal goals that I have so that you know maybe what to expect in the weeks to come. Um, my first goal is that I'm going to continue to try to stay positive and keep an open mind throughout this process. Um, my second goal, and this is the one that hopefully you will be most excited about, I have personally vowed to keep all these videos under 10 minutes. Um, Ideally, they would even be under 5 because I don't want to take up your precious time. And again, I know I can be kind of dry and slow. So I'm going to really plan these out and try to deliver all the information as quickly as possible. Um, Again, my goal is to be a resource and to help parents any way I possibly can virtually. And I would love to be able to reach out to every student. I've had some parents say, well, I don't have internet access at my house. That's okay. I don't expect everyone to have internet access. I mean, um, I think that good teaching doesn't necessarily require the internet. So we'll work around that. And again, Dojo is a great tool that we can continue to connect and um, figure this out together. Now, next week, I will say that it has been encouraged from my bosses and supervisors that we use Google Classroom because it's a safer platform. Students can participate in a way that's individualized and a little bit more confidential and secure. So I think that's why the big push is for Google Classroom. But if that's not something you can access, I don't want to exclude anybody. Um, Now, moving on, I am using a new technology today called Zoom. In the future, we might be able to use it. It's a way that we can actually live chat. But another reason I like Zoom is because you can actually see my screen. When I turn on screen share, which I'm about to do right now, you should be able to actually see my screen. I'm going to show you this morning just a couple ways that you can, um, you know, access the internet and use it for your child to learn. So obviously, you at this point have already know how to use Dojo. I will continue to talk to parents through messages and our class story. If you haven't seen Google Classroom yet, this is what it looks like. When you join the class using either the code that I provided or logging in with your child's username and password, this should come up. It says Lucas grade 2 and it has the pineapples. And when you click it, you're going to see a list of different things. I have posted the packet that apparently WCPS has sent out to all families to your address. This is kind of like a generic packet that has different sort of general word activities and math activities that you can use at home. But I also post assignments that students can click and respond to. It will really look something more like this. And then they can actually type into the comment section and interact with me that way. Again, this will kind of change and evolve. I want to upload information about how to get on Epic. If you're not already on Epic, I want to upload information about how to get on Prodigy if your child isn't on Prodigy yet. That can all be found here. And if you have questions about logging in, again, please feel free to ask. And I will help you in as best I can. Last thing I want to talk about this morning is this learning packet. This is specifically for the week of Tuesday, March 30th through Friday. I can imagine this might be a little bit overwhelming, especially with everything else going on. If you put it in the trash, don't blame you. But if you didn't, I just want to, discuss it really quick. The way it appears to be broken down is that there's goals at the top that ties with our curriculum in second grade. But as you move down to the directions, it breaks it down into day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. So for example, day 1, look at the article, which I believe is below, and it says, do a notice and wonder. And you might be thinking, what in the hell is a notice and wonder? Excuse my language. But if you have a question, Ms. Lucas, what is a notice and wonder? There's no dumb question. I would be happy to elaborate, explain that, so that you can continue learning at home if that's what you'd like to do. It talks about stopping and underlining, circling unfamiliar words. That's just a practice that we can really do with any text to help kids understand the words they're reading. Asking questions about what they're reading. So I'm going to kind of model that and demonstrate that for you if you're curious what that might look like. Don't be alarmed if this text is a little bit too hard for your child. That's okay. You can certainly read it to them. You can have an older brother or sister read it to them. I'm going to read it right now. Helpers in my community. If I was teaching this in the classroom, I would take a moment and say, let's look at this picture. Does this remind you of anything? What do you notice when you look at the picture? Do you have any questions when you look at this picture? That's basically what a notice and wonder is. You look, sort of put words to your thoughts, and discuss it. So for example, in my mind, I might be thinking, that looks like a fire truck. And I see 2 garage doors. So I wonder if that must be a firehouse. And I might even say, I have a firehouse down the street. That's what that reminds me of. And then I might point out the caption and talk about what a caption is. What does the caption do? The caption explains what's in the picture. Many people work together to help take care of our community. And then I would read on by Bobby Kalman. What is a community? A community is a place where many people live, work together. Community helpers are people who make communities cleaner, safer, and better. Who are the helpers in your community? Some community helpers are builders, doctors, teachers, and librarians. All these people help you. Communities need buildings where people can live or work. Builders build houses, offices, schools, and stores. They also build roads and bridges. People in a community need electricity, lights, computers, television sets, and many other things. Cannot work without it. Electricians are people who make sure that communities have electricity that they need. Okay, so for me personally, my dad's an electrician. So I might say, I have a connection I can make. I know what an electrician is because my dad's one. He makes sure that houses have switches that turn on and off, or he puts in ceiling fans. If your child doesn't know what an electrician is, you could talk about it. So these texts are not to bore you, even though you might read them and think, man, that's kind of boring. It's a conversation starter. It is a chance for them to practice new words. It's a chance for them to think about something other than the coronavirus. If you look at these Venn diagrams and you're like, I have no idea what this is, I have no idea what it's for, don't stress. If there's one thing I think that would be the most bang for your buck, if you want your child to be practicing and using language and continuing their learning, I personally think one of the best things you can do is just grab a pencil, a pen, anything like that, something that writes. And if your child asks a question, help them write that question down. Miss Lucas, what is a electrician? Okay, get out a piece of paper, spell it. What is an electrician? Um, it can be as simple as that. Just giving children a chance to practice writing down the thoughts in their head, practice writing down the questions in their head. Um, and if you have an opportunity to do that, I would love to see it. Take a picture of it, send it to me, or don't. These should not be extra stressful. Um, Again, I said yesterday, and I'll say it again. I know that these are trying times. I know that these are times of uncertainty. I know these are times of stress. And the last thing I want to do is stress anyone out or make anyone feel less. Um, so, sending you positive vibes, sending you happy thoughts. I'm thinking of you. I'm thinking of your child. But just a few things that I wanted to go over this morning and get off my heart. Um, I promise to improve this whole digital thing. And we will be in touch. Log into Google Classroom if you have the resources. That's where I'm going to continue to post my videos. Again, short and sweet, to the point. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.